This is not very chill. This is chill as heck though. This is Impending Doom. Liminal is not exactly the word I would use to describe Halo's aura, but it gets pretty gosh darn close. In all circumstances, Halo is much more liminal and it's chaotic, and it's just got that wow factor that everybody recognizes it for. But today I'm literally just going to be walking you through, in no too particular order, the most chill spots in Halo Combat Evolved. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. I feel like we're both going to get to relive some chill arse memories and stuff, so let's go. So in the very beginning, we have Halo. Yeah, I said it wasn't in too particular of order, and by that I meant I'm going to knock out my campaign spots first, and then show you the geeky goony stuff on multiplayer. So anyways, first notable spot is one I get to set the tone with here and just kind of lay down the law, you know. This needed to be the first chill spot because it's the first truly explorable little space that any of you goons might have gotten to trot around on. I mean, it's special, and if you understandably walked like all the way over here immediately after spawning in, the enemies don't come and the banshees don't fly by, and you can just look around without feeling pushed. The next move is in this huge friggin' cave.
This cave is not a natural formation.
Oh shoot, okay. It's not a cave. I wanted to stop you for a moment and ask you how you would feel to be ejected from your buddy's hog in a dark and cold place like this and just be left stranded. It just wasn't fun, but in a way it was, and it felt it was honorable. It needed to be mentioned as the architecture is cool. The whole place really gives you that old, barren, cold, spacey vibe. Halo's known for that, believe me, I know things. The next spot here is neither nook nor cranny, but rather out beyond the Doonies and the Warder. This is certainly one of my top chill spots. It was revolutionary for a game to introduce the ability for the individual to game against the grain. This is that, and while I take a gander out amidst the horizon and I simultaneously gaze with my other eye upon this gargantuan orbital feature, I experience, once again that joy I felt playing this game back in the day with my older sister, back when we was just young hustlers and shit. So you could get out and literally just doodle bop around. It looked cool down here, and at first it may have felt like a neat feature, but the Marines can breathe too. Hey!
Who doesn't love riding elevators? It would be fun to have maybe a buddy or some ride the elevwit, that'd be cool.
The next two spots actually inspired the rumors that I would have been your daddy. This first one here is a room you can find just after meandering up the cave exit. And I find this room really special because it just marks this somewhat significant vibe that is just cut from the rest of the game. And by significant, I mean the colors and the atmosphere of this area really reminds me of the color scheme and theme they really focused on in Halo 2. So it's like just this spot where enemies spawn and nothing else. I think there's an elite ultra or major in here on legendary that'll beat your Doonies down if you're not careful. Now here we've got this moment before entering the control room where if you grab a Banshee in time, you can fly around and experience Halo in flight for the first time. Later on in the game, you end up coming up here, but if like you just spent your time loitering, then you might have found yourself up in this doohickey away from the fight. It's literally just a monumental scene. You get to feel multiple times in multiple ways on this mission where you get to feel the expansiveness of this ancient ring world. This level in general was pretty cool because you're like conquering each spot as you dive deeper into the ring. And you finally make it to this pinnacle moment to hear Cortana be a negative Nancy and tell you about all the bad bull crud going on.
Oh,
This is it, baby. Hold me.
Now, we're on the final mission of Halo, and it's honestly tough to find moments that gave me that sense of nonchalant chill we're looking for. Since this entire game is literally about a ticking time bomb, and you're just constantly being reminded of that in each mission. And the Maw in particular is a race to the end. So there's always going to be those chill moments that exist. So we're starting off with the very opening moment of the mission where You're on the ledge of this blasted pod of the Pillar of Autumn, and you're right back where you friggin' started. Looking out here, though, you certainly feel out in the middle of nowhere and like you're stranded. And like you're stranded out in the friggin' Doonies, bruh. But it was the end of the game, and so you spawned in and you saw this, and it was like, wow, damn, we really are here. Is this the end of the game? Ain't no way, dog. But it was. This was it. The final chill location of campaign is following an urgent event where Foehammer takes a fatal blow at the rendezvous that you thought was the end of the mission, but no, it just wrenches at your heart. And anyways, you're left here sitting in your own piss, and you're given the opportunity to experience another depiction of the scale of the world around you, as well as become distracted by this huge fucking gap in the spaceship. It hurt to see Echo 419 go down like that, but honestly, since it's a video game, I really don't care all that much. Finally, the most chill spots in Halo Combat Evolved multiplayer. Battle Canyon. Arguably one of the most iconic Halo maps ever. This one is going to be easy, as the only chill spaces were the spaces in which you had control over the enemy. If I meander up this rock, I'm going to find myself a spanker, and if I'm lucky, I can start spanking before somebody finds the other chill spot and starts sniping. There's underground dungeons within both spawn points, but those spots are for phonies. Up here where you can spawn camp, it's where the real G's be. Sidewinder. Spoiler alert, this is my favorite map of Halo Combat Evolved. It's already beyond arguable that Halo created some of the greatest sandboxes of its time, and I'm almost certain that the most crucial factor was the contrast between like the colorful spacey skies and the ancient technological ruins in the dark. Some of the most fond memories I got in the bank are from here, on this ring in this map. I used to play this one with my sister and her friends, and they'd bully the shit out of me, but I'm extremely fond of these entrances and halls inside of the map. The battle outside was always epic and chaotic, but it felt personal once you met toe-to-toe with your foe in here. The color scheme and architectural decisions lead me to believe the Forerunners were packing the sauce. Damnation. I'm gonna be totally honest, I hated Damnation. Even playing this on MCC today, I get the Doonies beat out of me. I've literally never had fun on this map, but when I did, I was camping up here and lingering around the invisibility pickup. That's what I'm fond of here. If you like this map, Rat Race. Rat Race is fun. This map was kind of like Derelict. It was more of a fast-paced map where everyone is constantly running around in a circle and can't find each other half the time. However, if you came up here, you'll find the next chill-ass spot in this little tunnel system carved out just
So you could exploit everybody else that didn't know any better.
wow, what a fantastic map. Another insanely iconic one for me, at least. This and Blood Gulch, both. I'm gonna move around a little bit more as I get to the spot just because it was such a vibe. Back when I was just a young buck, I thought these pillars were all supposed to be like spikes for some big monster or something, and it felt like we were little tiny blokes in a big pond. I enjoyed this map though. I always felt like if I could sneak into one of these dugouts here that I could spawn camp and exploit everybody else. Good times. This map really ain't that chill. I mean, it's all chill, but back in the day there was really nowhere that allowed you to feel chill. I mean, you know, you're always exposed. Anyways, I just wanted to show it off because it looks cool. Blood Gulch. Talk about iconic maps. Here we are at the most recognizable thing from Halo. We're gonna trot around here because if you haven't experienced this map at all, then you at least need to feel the expansiveness and openness so that you can then understand the chillness and vibiness of these nook and crannies. On both sides of the map, we're gonna find these caves and tunnels that were literally built for this video. Yeah, Bungie made these spots so chill and vibe-worthy that I could capitalize on it later. Yep, I know people. So this spot in here is full of fungus and other things, but it adds to the chill cave atmosphere and reclusivity from the rest of the open canyon out there. You can trot around and find these nooks in multiple spots around the map, as well as some overhangs and cliff sides to sit and ponder your do-abouts at. Yeah, powerful stuff, I know. I'm sure there are plenty more spots that you find chill and vibey, so let me know down below what all I missed, or what else I could make a fun video on. So, Well guys, that's going to be all I have for you today. Know that I got some more crud shooting down the pipe, and I'm excited to keep at it. So, thanks everybody. Life is a planet. Peace out.
No, I don't think there's anybody here that wants to be known for gooning. I'm just saying that that's what's gonna happen if you allow yourself to be caught gooning in public. For example, if you get caught gooning in public, you might accidentally find yourself in a predicament where you're gooning publicly.